Bullying. It is defined by the Oxford Dictionary as unwanted aggressive behaviour towards an individual that involves a power imbalance, whether real or perceived. There are many other definitions of bullying, as there should be, as bullying is open to interpretation. Psychological bullying is bullying that affects a person psychologically. It has many forms and affects people differently. This video was originally a booklet. This video is designed to raise awareness of bullying and to help the victim, the bully and the bystanders in dealing with a situation involving bullying. I hope it will help with an understanding of the consequences and effects of bullying. Hopefully it will create more support and help for those being bullied and for those who feel the need to bully. In a case of bullying, the victim or the bullied is the first to need support, but the bully also needs help and consequences. This video aims to inspire both help and understanding for everyone involved in this issue.
Quick facts about bullying. Approximately 160,000 teens skip school every day because of bullying. In every Australian school, 1 in 4 students are being affected by bullying. That's 25% of students. An estimated 200 million children and youth around the world are being bullied by their peers. Youth who are bullied are 3 times more likely to show symptoms of depression. Youth who were bullied were up to 9 times more likely to have suicidal thoughts. Girls who are victims of bullying in their early primary school years are more likely to remain victims as they get older. Children who are frequently bullied by their peers are more likely to develop psychotic symptoms in their early adolescence. Girls are much more likely to be victims of both cyber and verbal bullying, while boys experience more physical fights. Young people who bully have 1 in 4 chance of having a criminal record by the age of 30. Bullying is the 4th most common reason why young people seek help from children's help services. Bullying, especially in teenage years, can lead to drug use and stunted social development. Bullying is illegal in Australia and most other countries, according to the level of severity it comes under different laws, including assault, grievous bodily harm, discriminative law, and both part of common law and criminal law. Most people that are bullied between the ages of 11 and 16. Any kind of bullying, whether physical or psychological, is illegal, and a bully can be charged for these offences.
What is psychological bullying? Psychological bullying is verbal abuse, teasing, name-calling, exclusion, personal attacks, taunting, mind games, insulting, embarrassing, humiliation, creating a climate of fear, cyberbullying, racism, and intimidation. It can be in forums such as verbal speech, face-to-face contact, writing notes or letters, gossip and behind-back conversations, cyberbullying, and exclusive behaviour that does not necessarily have to be spoken or written. It can also be at any age that this happens, but it is most common in late childhood and teenage years. Verbal. This type involves calling names, making offensive jokes, belittling others' capabilities, and making fun of one's religion, race, colour, ethnicity, and socio-economic status, as well as making threats and other verbally delivered bullying. Covert. This is also called indirect bullying. One example will be spreading rumours or made-up stories to harm others. Other scenarios will be sharing secrets, mimicking, and damaging others' reputation. Making gestures and faces behind a person's back is also a form of indirect abuse. Alienation. If a person is treated as an outcast at school, then it is alienation. Some bullies will even encourage other students to alienate a person during school activity, group games, and free time. Another technique used by bullies is threatening others that the same thing will happen to them if they talk or make friends with the victim. Cyberbullying. The use of electronic communication to bully a person, typically by sending messages of an intimidating or threatening nature. It can also involve a bully pretending to be the victim and posing as them online. Another form of cyberbullying is posting videos or photos of a person online that are negative and nasty. Why do people bully others? It is a common myth that people are bullies because they have low self-esteem, and while this is occasionally true, it is most often not the case. While bullies often have existing issues at home or in other areas of their lives, this doesn't mean that they have low self-esteem or social skills. People who bully others often have average or even above average levels of self-esteem. Bullies often have great leadership skills, don't have much trouble making friends, and because of this have large friendship groups. Bullies rely on an imbalance of power, even if that power is only in the victim or the bully's head. If someone feels that they are more powerful than another person, and possibly sees the other as a threat, whether to their friendship group or social status, etc., it would be tempting to put the others down to reduce the threat of them doing something that could take away their power. This is normally on a subconscious level, and the bully does not consciously think these thoughts. As bullies feel that they have more power than their victims, it would be fair to say that a bully would be confident in their stability of their power. However, most bullies only seek to find this power because they are having problems in another part of their lives. For example, a bully may start to bully other people because they aren't doing well in school. They may find that they have social or physical power over another person, and because they doubt themselves in another part of their lives, they will lash out and use their power negatively. Once somebody starts to bully, others may start to see them as powerful, and this can make them more popular. As social standards are set for the bully, they both become more popular and reliant on bullying people to feel more confident about the part of their life they are struggling with. However, their popularity is only amongst those who are insecure about themselves and seek a group of friends without caring about their friends' morals. As old-fashioned as it seems, they also make enemies. Those who are victims and victims' friends start to dislike the bully. Bullying can last many years or merely a few weeks, often depending on the length of the uneasy event. If it passes quickly, so will the bullying. It is for the above reasons that help should not only be provided for the victim, but also for the bully. Bullying can also be affected by the bystander, effects as detailed later on.
How does it affect the victim at the time? Bullying affects the victim in different ways depending on the victim's existing situation. For example, if they have a great support network, friends and family, and feel confident, then they aren't likely to be bullied. But if they were, they would most likely react better than someone in a fragile situation. When someone calls a person a name, or spreads rumours, humiliates them, writes notes, draws pictures, intimidates them, excludes them, or insults them, it is fair to say that it would make anyone feel good. When something like this happens again and again, however, several things happen. The victim's self-esteem plummets like it is falling from the Empire State Building. Being called names, being excluded or insulted, makes a person feel as though they are everything the bully is saying. They aren't worth spending time with. They are the horrible comments they are called. Even worse is that they feel like those comments and actions are what defines them, who they are. They become less resilient and more afraid and anxious. If someone says one nasty thing to you, it is fairly easy to shake it off. If this continues for weeks, months, and years, you begin to feel every blow and are therefore less likely to be able to stand up for yourself. Many people in this situation also find it hard to go for help, as they feel it means the bully is winning and they are weak. As this goes on, it simply gets harder.
How does bullying affect the victim in the future? Bullying can have some long-term effects. Long-term effects of bullying depend on how long the bullying occurs for, other aspects of the victim's life, and what the bullying entails. Some common long-term effects are social anxiety, becoming antisocial, becoming distrusting, low self-esteem, low confidence, becoming sick more easily, grades can drop, lack of focus in any activity, not going to school or work, being scared to go to school or work, subconsciously being more vulnerable and expecting people to treat you badly. This can lead to ongoing bullying as it is easier to pick on those who appear weak. Some extreme long-term effects are depression, suicidal thoughts, eating disorders, anger issues, inability to trust, and severe social anxiety.
How does it affect the bully at the time? Being a bully can have some serious effects in several ways. Depending on the bully's social circle, it can have horrible effects on their friends. It can also affect their school grades. If a bully faces up to the severity of what they have been doing, it can also lead to depression and other very serious effects. Bullying can cause short-term popularity as a bully appears powerful. Towards the end of bullying, and after the bullying ends, many bystanders will see the bully as just plain mean or scary. This can lead to a real decline in popularity and loss of friends. As previously discussed, bullies often bully others as they are insecure about a certain part of their lives. As they focus their energy on making another feel bad and themselves feel better, they often only focus on social things. This becomes a main part of their lives and a part of their lives that is strong and positive. This can result in bad school grades and focus or poor family relationships. Studies have also shown that bullies are more likely to dislike school or feel disconnected from school. They are also more likely to leave school grounds, run away from home, vandalize property, get into fights and show violent behaviour. Being a bully also has effects on the way a student is viewed within their school. They can be viewed as powerful and popular or as mean and scary. Normally they will start out being seen as powerful and popular, but as the bullying comes to an end, they are seen as mean and scary. This means that the student goes from being popular to unpopular and having many people who dislike them. This high and low is extremely bad for the bully's mental health, as they are hypothetically falling from a greater height than someone who was never popular in the first place.
How does it affect the bully in the future? Being a bully in childhood or adolescence can lead to many negative things. Bullies are much more likely to drop out of school than their peers. If they feel remorse for what they've done, they are more likely to experience depression. Bullies are also more likely to develop anxiety and substance abuse. They are more likely to become addicted to drugs and alcohol, and are more likely to smoke under the age of 18. While some may think that having a troubled teenage life or childhood doesn't affect adult life, it does. People that are bullies in childhood, by their mid-20s, have more traffic violations and are more likely to have a criminal record. By the time they are 30, 62% of bullies between the ages of 11 and 15 will have a criminal conviction. They are also more likely to carry a weapon and develop antisocial behaviour. Last but not least, people who bully as children are likely to have commitment issues, and their children are also likely to bully others. All of these things contribute to the ability to have a happy, healthy life, to have a steady job, good family life, and to being a good person. Being a bully has underlying ongoing problems that can last a lifetime. Cyberbullying also has a strong influence in our society, especially for girls. If a person says, posts or films nasty things and they are on the internet, they can be viewed by anyone. A company is well within its rights to and will often search the internet for your past. If they find that you are a bully, do you think they would hire you? If you realise you are bullying another, please do everything you can to fix the situation, and please find someone who can support you. The earlier you start trying to fix it, the easier it will be.
Issues involved in bullying. Bullying in school is the most common kind of bullying. It is also the kind of bullying that can be the most destructive to a person in their growth and learning. Therefore, it clearly needs to have consequences so that bullies in schools is reduced and eventually, though it seems impossible, stopped. There are several issues with this, however. These issues have reasonably simple solutions though. Teachers don't always see what is going on, making them reluctant to accuse anybody. To start off with dealing with this problem, teachers and parents need to be more vigilant. The other solution is to sit down and have discussions with students if anyone reports anything. 1 in 4 teachers don't intervene in bullying ever, and those that do intervene say they will only get involved if they think it is getting out of hand. Part of a teacher's job is to keep their students safe while at school. If you're a student and think your teacher doesn't do anything about bullying, talk to them or your principal. Students can feel uncomfortable going to a teacher or parent for help. As parents or teachers, it should be important for your student or child to feel safe around you. If you as a student feel like you can't talk to a teacher or parent, there are many organisations available to you. Students often fear bullying getting worse if they tell someone about the issue. If a parent or teacher understands your situation, they will normally try to help you. Bullying shouldn't get worse because of it, but if it does, at least someone is there to help you. If common issues between two parties that should be working together can be resolved, then bigger issues like the actual bullying can be helped. Teachers, parents and students have to work together if they want a happy resolution.
Bystanders are people who are present at a situation. They are onlookers. They don't say anything or even notice the situation. They are simply there. They could be witnesses, or they could be present without seeing the event. Bystanders play an important role in any situation, including bullying. If bullying is happening in your schoolyard, for example, then there is a bully and his or her friends, the victim, and anyone else in the area. These people have several options. Number 1. As a bystander, they could decide to do nothing and take no notice of the situation. Ignoring the situation or saying that it isn't their problem. This achieves nothing and actually puts the bystander on the side of the bully, as it sends a message that bullying is okay. This is an option that is best not to do. Number 2. They could follow what everyone else is doing. They could laugh along with the bully and poke fun at the victim. This makes the situation 10 times worse. The victim suddenly feels like everyone hates them and that the whole world is against them. Please don't do this option. Even ignoring the situation is better than this. Number 3. They could go and stand beside the victim. They don't have to say anything or do anything. They could also pull the victim away from the bully, so they don't have to listen to it anymore. This makes it easier for the victim to stand up for themselves or to walk away. This is a great option, as you don't have to involve yourself. You are supporting the victim subtly. Number 4. They could go and stand up for the victim. Tell the bully what they are doing is wrong and that they need to stop it. This does risk involving yourself, but quite often, once you say something, the bully will think on their actions, or others will find their voice and help you out. Just remember to be fair and kind, as to not make yourself a bully. Number 5. The last option is to ask for help. If you see bullying, go straight to a teacher or adult and ask them to come and help you deal with the situation. If you are scared of being involved or do not want to upset the bully, then this is a good option. Remember to make sure your teacher takes immediate action. If they don't, go to another teacher or your principal. Ask for help from them.
How to deal with bullying as a victim, bystander, guardian, or teacher. Bullying most often occurs in school situations, away from teachers and parents. In a typical situation, a bully and several supporters may approach a single person or a group. There are so many variations of this stereotype, a big one being cyberbullying. However, there are some common things that you can do as a bystander, victim, guardian, parent, or teacher.
As a victim, you need to tell someone. I know that it can be hard, but I promise it helps if you tell someone what is happening. It is great to tell a parent, but if you can't, then tell a trusted adult. Telling a friend is fine, but as they are the same age as you, they often won't have the tools to help you. By all means, tell your friend, but also tell an adult. Many will tell you not to react, but having been in this situation, I know that it's nearly impossible.
The kind of reaction you have is important though. If you start crying or run away, that is fine. If you retaliate, however, you only make the situation worse and make yourself part of the problem, and you are no longer innocent. Tell the people around you and ask them to support you. It will be easier to walk away or stand up for yourself if you have people around you. As a bystander. As a bystander, you can do simple things like not being friends with the bully. If you see someone being bullied, don't laugh or take the side of the bully. Try to stand up to the bully by saying that you don't think what they're doing is right. Or if this seems too daunting, just go and stand beside the victim and lead them away. By doing any of these things, you are supporting the victim and not the bully.
As a guardian or parent. As a guardian or parent, you need to be aware of your child's social life. Ask your child how their day was at school, what they did at lunchtime. If you suspect something is happening and they're not telling you, go to their teachers and ask them to look out for it. If your child tells you that he or she is being bullied, get them to tell you everything that is happening and to write it down. Then ask your child if they are comfortable going to their teacher and telling them what is happening. If they are not, then take what they have written down and show the teacher. Ask the teacher to act on it, and if they don't, take it to the principal. If your child approaches their teacher by themselves, the same thing applies.
As a teacher, the most important thing to do as a teacher is something. If you hear a report of bullying, you need to do something about it. Even if you don't see the bullying, only hear rumours, you need to act on it. By no means am I suggesting you accuse someone, just have a conversation. You need to have a discussion with your class about supporting the victims and the bystander effects.
If you hear of one or more kids involved in bullying, sit down and have a private conversation with them. After this conversation, you need to be vigilant and watch out for bullying. If you do see bullying, you need to apply consistent consequence immediately. Right. This consequence needs to get worse as the bullying continues, and if necessary, parents need to be involved.
This is an anonymous story to show the effects of bullying on people. You might never realise you're actually being bullied, or it could be as clear as day. But that wasn't the case for me. I'd always thought that people saying mean things and laughing was just their way of having fun and bringing a bit of humour. But how can bringing other people down be fun? I remember in primary school, people always commenting on what I was wearing. Really? You're going to wear that? Can we burn that? Please get some new clothes. but I just took it. In high school, you think everything's going to be great. Good friends, good marks, and a good time, essentially. But once again, not the case for me. And not the case for most, either. My so-called best friend was amazing. Or so I thought she was. She'd always make fun about other people, and yeah, I laughed along. I couldn't have her thinking I wasn't fun anymore, could I? And yeah, she made jokes and did things like filling my shoes up with water, or throwing them on the roof, or making me jump into the garden, or just running off in general. But I just took it as her making fun and mucking around like best friends do. It wasn't until a series of mental health issues that really took over my life that things started to get worse. Yeah, she'd still poke fun at me and make me do things I didn't want to do and make me feel bad when I didn't, but it was okay, right? I mean, she was my best friend, and that's what I kept telling myself. I kept saying that, no, she cares about me, that's all that matters, she won't leave me. And yes, I was right, she didn't leave me. And at the start of year 9, I had to go away for a while because things got really bad. She kept ignoring me for no reason, then hurting me for making new friends, talking about me and saying things that I really wish weren't true. When I came back, I did something I'm not proud of. But I read her messages on Facebook. I know it was wrong, but wouldn't you if people had been saying that your best friend had been saying horrible things about you? And what I read was horrible. She'd gone around telling people that I was faking everything, faking being nice and mentally ill, saying that I was doing it all for attention. So after a while of reading that, I realised that I didn't want to be in that kind of friendship. What's a good friendship when one of you makes the other feel horrible all the time? It isn't one. What happened with her still hurts me today. The fear of someone else doing what she did to me, so I don't get close to people anymore. You might not realise you're being bullied at the time, but it can happen, and it hurts a lot.
Friends, forever our own. Our family is always there, always loving. But bullying at school is mostly done by peers. The only fix for this is friends. Our friends are forever our own. They are forever us. They are our choices, decisions, quirks, personality. They are us rolled up into another person who gets us completely. And hopefully you can be a great friend to someone else. Our friends are us because they truly reflect us. We choose them and they choose us. And I can tell you that having a friend, just one, can be the difference between being happy and not. Our friends are forever our own. You are also forever your own. You belong to nobody else than yourself. Yourself, your personality, your talents, your insecurities, your stories, your looks, your heritage, your family, your likes, your dislikes. You. These things belong to you. No one can take them away from you, no matter how hard they try. A person can cause you pain and make you feel worthless, but you are still you. You will learn and grow up, but you are still you. You may forget your way, forget who you are, forget your friends, forget that your family is there for you, but although you have forgotten, it's still there. Someone or something will make you remember, get you back on track, make you remember yourself. You can change everything about you, but you will never stop being you. The person who got bullied, the one who had no idea about fashion, the person who was bad at spelling, the kid whose nan cut their hair the wrong way, who couldn't dance or sing or play netball. Even if you change, somewhere you will still be you. The you who has painful stories. And why should that go unspoken? Why should you change the way you look, act, or dress? In the end, why should you change, conform? What does it do for you? Changing yourself because you were bullied is not something anyone should have to do. People do, but if you change yourself because of bullying, who are you changing into? Are you changing into someone like your bully? Someone who with lots of friends? Someone who doesn't get bullied? If you change into what your bully wants you to be, you are only becoming more like them, and you shouldn't change yourself into a bully. If you're changing into someone with lots of friends, how? Are you making yourself someone else to do this? If you didn't fit in with a group in the first place, was there a reason for that? Are they your kind of people? Don't change to fit in. Someone likes you for who you actually are. Even though that may seem impossible, they do. They like you, but they won't when you change, so don't. Be who you are, wait for them to be open to people. Some people may surprise you. Get to know someone's story. Don't assume everyone is nasty. Make friends and find someone who reflects you. Make good choices about those you want to reflect yourself, and remember that while other people affect you, you don't need to change to be liked or fit in. You are you, nobody else is. You are you because of your past, in spite of what they did or said, because of your personality, your beliefs, your heritage, your looks, your likes and dislikes. Nobody can replicate you, and you can't replicate anyone else. So be proud, because you are and always will be the perfectly imperfect you. Once you find a friend who truly reflects you, remember that they will always be forever your own.
The To This Day project is a poem written and spoken by Shane Coisy. This poem was then turned into an animated video. This animated video about bullying touched thousands of people, eventually being read out at the 2010 Olympic opening ceremony. 86 animators and motion artists donated their time and used their talents to help make the video. Shane Coisy wrote this poem and made an incredible video in the hopes that it would give others a motive to end bullying. He is an inspiration, and the To This Day project surely shows a message of all those against bullying.
Organisations, help and support. Bullying and help organisations. There are many organisations across the world that can help you if you're in any situation of fear, sadness, conflict, etc. Here are a few that could help you out. Headspace.org.au helps people with many issues including bullying and mental illness, especially young people. Angelsgoals.org.au is an Australian anti-bullying group that can provide support and help from professionals. It can also help schools and teachers to deal with bullying. EndCyberbullying.org can give information about cyberbullying specifically for those surrounding victims. ReachOut.com is a help site that provides information and help to victims and those trying to help. Lifeline.org.au is a helpline open to anyone who needs help for any reason. Kidshelpline.com.au is a helpline and site where you can call or email a professional who will help you. It is aimed at children and teenagers to young adults.
Great days around the world to get involved with. Pink Shirt Day, or Anti-Bullying Day, is an American and Canadian day that was made by two men, David Shepard and Travis Price. It was made when a boy got bullied for wearing a pink shirt to school on the first day of high school. In the UK and Northern Ireland, they have Anti-Bullying Week.
Blue Shirt Day is a worldwide anti-bullying day similar to Pink Shirt Day. This year it is on the 6th of October 2014. Many countries all around the world get involved with this day. The 2014 Australian National Day of Action Against Bullying and Violence was on Friday the 21st of March 2014. These online and over-the-phone organisations are great for help and information. Lifeline and Kids Helpline will provide immediate help as well as advice and ongoing support. Many of the other websites listed give information and advice on how to react to bullying. This information is aimed at parents, teachers, bullies and victims. Another option is to seek out your local counsellor or psychologist. Your school should be able to tell you who this is or your local doctor. Also remember to speak to your teachers and parents as they care about you and may not be aware of the situation. Help is obviously available to the victim. However, as a teacher, parent or bully, it can also help to get advice. Dealing with a situation of bullying can be hard no matter how you're involved. Help is always available and is a positive step towards change.